show.
Yes, I've seen the show.
Why do you like it?
I like it because I'm terribly interested in society, because I had a really weird upbringing, and I can look at what the rest of society is like.
And associate with it.
And sort of see it from a different perspective, because usually you get to, you walk past people and you sort of think to yourself, what idiots are these? And now when you walk past, you sort of think, well, maybe what's the story behind them, What is it all about?
What is your weird upbringing?
I was brought up in an Aboriginal tribe. Yeah.
How did that happen?
My parents were teachers. Yeah, in the outback.
What part of the outback?
The northwest corner of South Australia, Pitjantjatjara tribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So were you the only white kid in the...
My sister and I, the only two little white kids out there. We used to live in the humpies and, play out in the dirt and have the snot running down our faces. It was pretty embarrassing stuff.
And would you call your upbringing, you said weird, but it's also what? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you think it was a good upbringing? It
was sad for me because I was brought up as an Aboriginal child, and then when I came of age, I wasn't to marry into the Aboriginal culture, so I was shipped over here, and I had no help. I was just straight into a boarding school, so that was hard.
What about your parents?
They stayed out there.
How old were you when you came of age?
12, 13, yeah.
When you say you were brought up as an Aboriginal, was that in every sense?
In every sense.
And your parents?
And my parents, they thought they were missionaries. They thought they were chosen by God to be missionaries for a while there. And then they decided, sorry, my friend's killing us. They decided that they wanted to find out about the Aboriginal culture and live as if they were in the Aboriginal culture. And fortunately, they got a good job with TAFE, and they decided they'd go out there and actually travel. So I never spent more than a month in one place travelling with all the Aboriginal people.
How do you regard the experience now?
Sometimes I regard it with regret when I'm feeling sorry for myself, and sometimes I think it's great because I can stand back and look at society in a completely different way. I don't get so hooked up in the whole thing. So I really like the business side of things, really like the corporate scene, because I can go into it and play the game and then walk away.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
And what do you do? What are you doing?
I'm a student of music business management at the moment, yeah.
Why do you want to do that?
Because I write music and all that kind of stuff, yeah. Since I was a kid, it was one of those things. Didn't have any friends, so I had a guitar.
You had a guitar?
Oh, woe is me.
Right. Did you play, what about didgeridoo? Did you learn to play the didgeridoo?
Oh no, women aren't allowed. You'll die. Yeah.
There you see, I didn't know that.
No. I was never allowed to touch the didgeridoo.
Have you stayed in touch with any of them?
No, not any with the Aboriginal people, because it was too hard for me. I think coming straight back into a society like this, it was just like such a culture shock that I'm still extremely fascinated with now.
Yes, and you went so at the age of 12. You'd known nothing except that outback Aboriginal settlement, and you ended up in town, in city.
Yeah, in Adelaide.
In Adelaide.
Yeah.
Bang, like that.
Bang, just like that. In with his pastor and his wife. It's great. So nice.
Were they nice people? I mean, they just couldn't understand?
Yeah, no, they couldn't understand me. That was the big problem. That was really hard. I'm only, I'm only 10 or something years old in society terms.
Yeah. But what did you bring with you from those early years? Have you retained some things that you can use?
Yeah.
I don't mean materially, of course.
I'm so thankful to be in a city. So thankful to be talking to people. So thankful to be able to have a choice in what happens to me. Being out in the outback, you're surviving, and that's it. Over here, it's more than surviving. When I found out there were supermarkets, there was a big problem. I'd walk down the side. My boyfriend was horrified when we started living together. I was pulling up, oh, look, you can get microwave cakes. It was 10 of them. It was just madness. There was choice. And when I discovered choice, that was a great thing, so I'm happy with that.
What else?
What else did I have problems with? Being with people, I didn't know what social etiquette was, so I'd shut up.
He was really your kind of parents, if you like, surrogate.
Yeah, because my parents actually came back, and then I sort of didn't get along with them for a while, so I don't see them anymore. But yeah, he was in a sense.
I mean, in terms of the kind of society that you were then living in, a white society, was so different. So he would have had to maybe be your tour guide.
Yeah, he was very much. And I would say to him, I don't have the normal reactions to people that other people do. So I'd say to him, now, how would you react to that, Troy? And he'd say, well, I just wouldn't give a shit. And I'd go, oh, right, okay, so that doesn't matter. And he'd go, no. And I'd go, oh, cool, that's all right. And then I'd get on with my life, you know. I wouldn't know what to take seriously and what not to take seriously, really.
And is that because when you were growing up, the community in which you were, the Aboriginal community, behaved so differently?
Oh. Well, you're not allowed to have eye contact. So what we're doing now is just a no-no. I should be staring down at the floor. And women are subservient and stuff. And, you know, it's very different.
This notion, I mean, and at an early age, you're very impressionable. You learn these things forever, don't you?
Yeah.
So how do you manage with eye contact now?
Oh, I'm fine.
You've got over
Yeah, well,
that?
no, because I took on society as just a big challenge in the end, once I got over the big fright.
Right.
Yeah, and so now it's just a joy to do that. It's like, all the time, I'm looking, yeah.
How old were you?
When I was born?
Yes.
Well, that's a good metaphysical question, actually.
Do you have an answer?
It's a mystery.
Where did you come from?
Oh, well, originally from Brisbane.
Right.
So I've been living down here for the past 10 months.
And your family? Ethnically?
And my family, ethnically, my mother's Burmese and my father's Italian.
Italian?
Mm-hmm.
Do you speak Italian?
No, not really. They've been out here for years, so...
Oh, right. And you were born in Brisbane?
Mm-hmm. Do you want my age?
No. I just wondered if you were going to offer it, but no, it's okay. What's your name?
Assunta.
Okay. Do you have a business reason for being in Sydney?
Yes, I do. That's where
Can you talk about that?
Well,
is
I
it
work
illegal?
No, that's okay. I work for an airline,
Do you?
and
Yeah.
part of my job was to be based here in Sydney, so...
Do you travel a lot on the
Yes, I
airline?
do.
Do you? Do you work on the plane?
Well, yes, I do.
Oh, do you? Right. When you have a family like a Burmese and Italian, sort of culturally, what happens when you're growing up? Do you have any cultural references in those areas, or are you
Not really,
Australian?
no. They came out after the war, so they
Yes.
were fairly little when they
Right.
first came out. So we've all been grown up as Australians, basically.
And that's how you think
Yeah,
of yourself?
yeah, definitely.
Do you think it works? Do you think multiculturalism works in Australia?
Well, it has to. I mean, we are a multicultural society.
I meant in the sense that were you always accepted?
No, not at school I wasn't. When I was little I had a little bit of trouble just growing up at school.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my family broke up when I was fairly young. So, you know, being a separate family in those days, or even, 10 years ago, it was hard to be accepted, but not so much now because of that. And also because of my colour.
Yes.
My colour had a lot to do with it. Yeah. Just little things like, little things that kids did that hurt, call you blackie and all that sort of thing. And, you remember things like that,
But it didn't have a lasting negative
Oh, no,
effect.
definitely not. I mean, when you get older, you understand these things, but when
Right.
you're little, you sort of don't understand why.
Yeah, right.
And, even smaller kids coming up to you and going, why are you black? And things
Yeah.
like that. You can't answer that, can you, when you're that age, about 8 or 7 or... Yeah.
How old were you when your family broke up?
Oh, about 4.
Do you remember that?
Not really, no.
Who brought you up?
My mum.
Right. Did you see your father though?
No.
So that was the last
that
you
was
saw
it.
of him?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him?
Not really, no.
Did you ever want to?
Not really.
No.
No. Had a good upbringing with my mum.
Yeah.
Very proud of her for what she did for me.
Was there ever a period where it wasn't, when you rebelled or when you pushed her away?
Oh, of course I did. Moved out of home, went
Did-
down to Melbourne and hurt her then. Went down and, like all children do, when they turn 18, 19, they all want to go away and
Yeah.
find out about life.
Yes.
But always came back.
Yeah.
She was always there.
What about things like family of your own? Do you think about that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to have
Not for the
children?
next. Oh, children for sure, but not for the next 5 to 8 years or so. Yeah.
Long way down the track.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Oh, I mean, I've just started my job and things are taking off for me, so
Right.
I really want to stay
There's
with my
time.
job and work. And there's plenty of time, and
Right.
I think we have that choice these days as well
Right.
as women.
Yes. I have to ask you a personal question so I don't ask you the wrong questions. Are you romantically involved?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about that. How did you actually make that connection when you first met?
Well, as we said, we were working in the Sheraton Hotel in Brisbane together, and we met each other through some friends, and the opportunity arose one evening that Assunta was in the foyer on her own and I was on my way to a party, so I asked her to come along and she came along and we've been together ever since. Every day almost, except for when she's away, of course.
Right.
But so basically after a few months, we started living together and we've been together for just almost 3 years.
Do you have a smooth childhood, or did your parents...
No, my parents were split when I was very young as well, and I was brought up with my mother and my young brother as well, and we grew up in Brisbane. And so, yeah, it was a difficult childhood as well, and I think I probably went through the same problems that Assunta did, sort of leaving home at a young age and rebelling and all that kind of thing, but everything works out smoothly in the long run.
Do you have a kind of a moral code? I mean,
yes, I think it's everyone's code is fairly personal and everyone's is different as well, but I wouldn't say that I exactly follow the rules of society or have in the past, and also the rules of the church. I have been involved in the church in the past, but now I think it's more of a spiritual sort of well-being that you feel, and you sort of love your neighbour and look after your friends and look after yourself at the same time and without hurting anybody. So I think as long as you're not hurting anybody, that's sort of my rule, I suppose.
That's your rule.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What about long-term plans? What would you like to be doing in 5 years' time, say?
Well, I would like to own my own restaurant in about 5 or 6 years' time. My brother's a chef, so I'm hoping that we could work together.
Get him cheap, do you think?
No, he's not cheap at all. But I would like to do that. So
In Sydney?
That's certainly my plan. Either in Sydney or Brisbane. I think perhaps in Sydney.
And I was going to ask, have you had any bad experiences with people?
In restaurants? Oh, I've had people walk out, I've had people drunk, I've had people fall asleep at the table and people be sick in the bathrooms, and I've had everything that could possibly happen.
What's the most memorable one?
I don't know if I could tell that one.
You can always edit it out.
Well, yeah, I suppose people, having a bit of a romp at the table is certainly a memorable experience.
Making love
maybe for them, yeah.
At the table?
Yeah,
in a
pretty
restaurant?
close to, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Well, after everyone else has left and there's only just the staff there, yeah. So, yeah, they're
Did
pretty
you
excited.
interrupt them, as it were?
No, what can you do? You just have to leave them and just walk out of the room.
How old are you now?
That's a mystery too, actually.
Okay. All right. We won't check on age.
Yes, no. Why are these things important, actually?
They're not important. I just asked the question. Excuse us, madam. We're from SBS doing a show called Front Up.
Yeah.
We're looking for conversations around Australia. Are you in a hurry?
No, I'm not hurried, but I don't know. Maybe my language is not nice because
It sounds fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Where are you from?
Poland.
How long have you been in Australia?
Oh, exactly now 5 years, because I've been before, but I come back now and I with my husband, because my husband is very sick.
Is he?
Yeah, he's on home of peace. I come back now from him. Yeah, every day I going.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, after stroke? Yeah. I come here 15 years ago, but I go to Poland because,
That's right.
because my father, my parents was very sick, and I go to Poland. Now I come back because my husband is sick.
Yes.
Sorry, hi. Yeah.
Is he functioning? Can he speak? And
He has problem now with speak because he speak. He live in Australia 50 years. But he could speak English before. Now he has problem little
And
bit.
Polish?
Yeah. Polish too.
Yes.
He has problem with speak, but he can't walk. He all time live on the wheelchair and carry him on the hoist, special hoist. Yeah.
How old is he?
Oh, it's 78. I'm 63.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
Yeah.
The rest of the time, you have to look after him. And
No, I tell you, I have very nice dog, Chihuahua, beautiful dog, very intelligent.
Yes.
I go with him to park. I
For a
walk
little exercise.
lots of. I walk.
With your dog. What's your dog's name?
Fraction.
The dog-
Fraction, because she's very small. When I go, I catch bus. I put my dog in the bag,
Yes.
and I go with him to my husband. Yeah, in the bag. I have special bag this and put my dog in the bag.
And he doesn't make a noise?
No, she's
sorry.
very nice. She's very intelligent.
Yes.
Never is problem. Never, never. And I got to today. I pay a bill for my paper, and I say to her, sorry, you must sit and wait for me.
Yeah.
She
sits?
yeah, and wait for me.
What does she eat?
Oh, chicken. Chicken. I bought one chicken every week in the Meyer because it's best in the Meyer chicken, ready cooking.
Yes.
And I cut for her and I put the veggie, carrots and this. Not too much.
What do you eat?
What I eat? Lots of veggie. Veggie and fruit.
And fruit.
And I don't like meat. I don't like meat.
So the chicken's for the dog.
Yeah, chicken for the dog.
Very good chicken.
No bones,
No
because
bones.
it's not. It's very dangerous for him. Life is life.
Yes.
Very short and very hard.
Yes. And
No,
you.
what?
Now I know
No.
you've had a hard time.
Yeah.
But you seem still to be, full of life and so on.
No, yeah.
What do you
Sorry.
do? Things that you enjoy?
Books,
Yes.
TV. I like
Yes.
yeah. Books, TV, no what.
And talking to your children?
Talking with my children. Although now is best no, because my children all time want money from me.
I don't even know if you really are who you say you
That's
are,
right,
really.
you don't.
No, I'm going on trust here.
You are. My name's Andrew.
So, how do?
How do?
Don't shake hands on the steps.
Oh, I see. Bit risky. What's your name?
Denis.
Denis. Hello.
SBS, what's that?
It's a television network.
Oh, right.
Tell us about your wonderful animals.
This is who, Shane? He's a friend of mine. He's all right. Everybody's friend. And this is Praline, this is half sister.
Praline.
Praline. Ein Schackel Pralinen. Das ist die einzige Praline. And this is Schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
She drinks beer. Sally over there.
Praline, is that from the chocolate? The chocolate filling? Yeah.
When she was born, she was like deep chocolate brown colour.
Uh-huh,
And,
yeah.
She's grew camel colour as she got older.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what about you?
Me, I just live here.
You just live here.
I just
do, you,
live here.
do you travel around on the?
I've just finished building this one. I've got another one I've had for 16 years. I lived in it, and I just built this one, and it's a bit more homely,
Yeah.
more roomy area.
Yeah.
Just bloody. And I thought we'd just tootle up and tout a bit of bloody bullshit off the front today. So.
Oh yeah. What's the range? How far can you travel in one go with this?
Well, I've travelled from Coffs Harbour to Broome. So
Yeah.
In the other one.
Oh really?
And this one is no different. It's just a whole lot roomier and
Yes.
bigger windows and
It's very nice actually.
yeah.
Very nice. Did you build it all by yourself?
Yeah.
Gee, that's clever. I don't know how. I wouldn't. Now these are what I think they are.
Yeah, they are what they
Yeah.
think they are. Yeah.
They're very small.
Well, all roos aren't created equal. I was working over Morven in Queensland, and Margaret and Jim, they've got a roo works there, and they just built a tannery there. Like I was building the tannery, and so they're tanning the roo walls as well. And I get them like wizarding up old prunes, but it's tanned leather, and then you've got to soak them and bring them back to life how God made them. And if you, let's say, crush them up, just give them a blowjob, and they hold their shape,
Yeah.
and they're ornamental, and they're just coin purse ornaments.
Or just as they are.
Put a dried arrangement in it. Whatever. With
Terrific.
that effect, yeah. Since 72 to 79, I was packing camels back and forth across the street. Before I met a camel driver, that was Salih Muhammad, namesake of that mongrel out there. And he's got his namesake's personality, actually. But, so, I walked a lot of miles, and then
Yeah, you
when I
would've.
come back to Alice Springs that time, this is 2 complete and 2 half crossings. Then we took a truckload of camels down to Canberra to set up supposedly camel races down there through the Salih Muhammad, which I didn't wait around for because he mistreated my camels when I wasn't there one day. So I just packed up and pissed off. Yeah, well, I've just been mooching about since then.
And you're going to be mooching around some more from here?
Yeah, well, I think so.
Yeah.
You know, just crack the shits one morning and wake up, harness up and rack off somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you eat? I mean, do you...
I'm not vegetarian.
Yeah.
No. I mean, Christ ate meat, and he wasn't an arbitrary twit. Mankind's been omnivorous for over 5,000 years, as well-established fact. And to make an arbitrary decision and say, I'm going to be a vegetarian, I'm going to be a vegan, well,
Yeah.
fair go. What's it doing to your insides? You know? I think
What do
all
you
things
like?
in moderation. Oh, well, I like steak and 3 veg. You know, that's really good. I like lots of fruit.
Do you get...
Very ordinary.
Do you cook?
Yeah,
Yeah?
sure. I got a gas ring here,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and I've got a cast iron wok. I do a really good stir fry in that. I've got a decent bloody fridge.
Do you make a living giving rides and...
Well, I have tried to once or twice, but I get very sour
yeah.
working too much with tourists and
Yeah.
as such. I mean, we're all tourists, but yeah, well, I prefer to do this. I mean, I sit here, I might sell something, I might not sell something.
Yeah.
But I've got a few gardening jobs around town, and I was going to go into tourism, but to go to tourism, you've got to have insurance and all that
Yes.
bullshit. If I can't insure my camels and my caravan, I'm not bloody insuring anybody else.
Yes, I see.
Schnitzel, you silly bugger. Get off. Get off. Get off.
How did you get to where you are? Where were you originally from?
I was born in Australia.
Yeah. What part?
I was born in Queensland, Gladstone, Queensland, and
Yeah.
an apprenticeship and sheet metal worker welder. Then I went to New Zealand for 3 weeks holiday and stayed 3 years.
Yeah.
Come back to Australia for kind of 2 years, and then off to England, had a 2-year return ticket, and I got there, look, I'm not coming back in 2 years, it's too much to see, too close to everything. When I finished all that trip, I ponced around the Queensland coast for a bit, and I was working in Townsville, and a friend of mine said to me, oh, Dan, do you know there's wild camels out in Central Australia? I said, oh, really? So that was the idea, and
Yeah.
yeah.
But is it?
Yeah.
One will get the impression, just at first glance,
Yeah.
that it's a lonely kind of
Oh,
existence.
that's bullshit. I've got a cat, I've got a dog, got the chooks, I've got the camels. Chooks too.
Yeah.
You can see the chooks.
Let's have a look at the chooks.
The chooks. The chooks are in here. Hello, someone's in there. Oh, Margaret's in trying to lay an egg. I've got to find homes for those young roosters. They were chickens a couple of weeks ago.
Sue, come here. Come and say hello. How long have you had Sue?
Since she was about that big, since she was a puppy. I turned up to work a shearing shed on the Barcoo. Oh, what year was that? God. 85, 6. Anyway, I was 50 that year. So, and
You were 50 when?
I was 50 back then. Yeah, right.
What does that make you?
About 7 years ago. Anyway, yeah, I turned up to work. There's this bloke in town. He says, do you want to come out and do a bit of rousing for us, Dan? I says, I've never done that before. He says, oh, Christ, you sound like a bloody virgin. So I thought, I'll have a go.
Yeah.
So I went and had a go at the shearing. And I didn't want the shearing, the rouser bag. I was picking
Yeah.
up the fleeces and skirting and this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did all that. But you get older. I mean, I could do it then. I don't think I could do it now anyway.
Yeah.
It's too much upsy downsy and dash around like a cracker up your ass or something. Schnitzel. Just like your heart.
I'm glad to hear that your camels speak German.
Yeah,
Multilingual camels.
it's best that way. She's on a ration one a day.
One a day.
That's bullshit. She's been drunk once or twice, but she just likes beer.
Yeah?
But I got her, she was an orphan camel. We acquired her, what, 89. December 89. And when you're quite finished, don't eat it.
Don't eat the cat.
Was dann verrückt, denn du brauchst noch ein Bier. Ja? Du brauchst noch ein Bier haben. Beiß mir, ich beiß dir wieder am Rock. Okay.